You know the feeling, right? You're sitting in a dark theater. You pop on those glasses, and suddenly, bam, the flat screen in front of you just explodes with depth. Things are flying right at your face. Landscapes feel like they go on for miles. It feels so real. So, how in the world does that happen? Let's get into it.
That's the big question, isn't it? How can filmmakers create this incredible three-dimensional world on a totally flat two-dimensional surface? Well, the secret isn't just about fancy projectors or special glasses. The real trick? It's happening inside your own head.
Just picture this for a second. That classic 3D moment, we've all seen it. A massive dinosaur lunges right off the screen. You could almost feel its breath. Its teeth are just inches from your face. And what happens? You flinch. You might even duck out of the way. Your heart starts pounding. For that split second, your brain's survival instincts totally take over, screaming that this threat is absolutely 100% real. It's this powerful automatic reaction you can't control. And then, just as quickly, you remember, wait a minute, it's just a movie. It's an illusion on a flat screen. So how did your brain get tricked so convincingly? What's going on here? Okay, to really understand the filmmaker's trick, first we have to look at the amazing system that they're exploiting. You see, the magic of 3D cinema doesn't actually start on the screen. It starts with a kind of 3D superpower that's already built right into your brain. Let's try a quick experiment right now. Go ahead, hold a finger up in front of your face. Now look at it, but only with your left eye. Now switch, and look with only your right eye. See how it looks like your finger jumps back and forth? That's because each eye is capturing a slightly different angle of the world. This is called binocular vision, and that little difference between the two views is what's known as binocular disparity. And this is where it gets really cool. Your brain is basically an incredible supercomputer. It takes those two slightly different, totally flat images from your eyes, and through a process called stereoscopy, it fuses them into one single picture. And while it's doing that, it calculates the tiny differences to create the rich, seamless, three-dimensional world you see every single day. Your brain is literally a natural 3D rendering engine. So, if your brain is already programmed to turn two flat images into a 3D world, how do filmmakers take advantage of that? Well, it's actually pretty simple and kind of brilliant. They hijack the system. They feed your brain the exact kind of information it's already built to process. Here's how that whole grand trick works. First, the projector isn't just showing one image, it's flashing two separate images onto the screen at the same time, one designed for your left eye and another for your right eye. Second, those 3D glasses you're wearing are basically high-tech filters. Third, they work by making sure your left eye only sees the left eye image, and your right eye only sees the right eye image. And then what happens? Your brain does all the heavy lifting, automatically stitching them together into one convincing 3D picture. It's an amazing hack of our own biology. Now, even though the basic trick has stayed the same for years, the technology we use to filter those images has evolved a lot. We've come a long, long way from those old-school paper glasses. It all started with anaglyph tech. Yep, those are the classic red and blue paper glasses. They worked by filtering color, but the quality, let's just say it left something to be desired. Most theaters today use polarized glasses. They filter light waves that are oriented in different directions, which gives you a much sharper, full-color image. And then you have the really high-tech option, active shutter glasses, which are often used for 3D TVs. These things are actually electronic, and they rapidly black out each lens in perfect sync with the screen as it flashes images for each eye. It happens so fast, you don't even notice. You just see one smooth 3D image. But this clever brain hack isn't always perfect. Sometimes it can have a pretty annoying downside. For some people, the illusion works a little too well, and it can lead to a pretty unpleasant physical reaction. You know what I'm talking about. Have you ever felt dizzy or gotten a headache, or even felt a little nauseous after watching a 3D movie? If you have, you are definitely not alone. It's a super common side effect, and it happens because the illusion, as good as it is, has a tiny flaw. It all boils down to something called sensory conflict. Your eyes are seeing you fly through space in an epic starship battle, and they're shouting to your brain, hey, we're moving really fast. But at the same time, your inner ear, which controls your sense of balance, is sending a completely different message. It's saying, no, we're not. We are sitting perfectly still in a comfy chair. Your brain gets caught in the middle of these two conflicting reports, gets confused, and that sensory overload is what can cause motion sickness. So, these challenges, the hassle of wearing glasses, and the potential for motion sickness are exactly why the industry is pushing hard toward the next giant leap in 3D technology, getting rid of the glasses completely.
This tech is called an auto-stereoscopic display, and believe it or not, it's already here in smaller devices. If you've ever used a Nintendo 3DS, you've seen it in action. These displays use special layered screens that literally direct different images into each of your eyes. No filters, no glasses necessary. The big dream, of course, is to scale this up from movie theaters and our TVs at home, creating a 3D experience that's completely seamless.
So, let's just quickly recap the main points here. First, your brain naturally creates depth by merging two slightly different views. Second, 3D movies basically hack the system by showing you two separate images on purpose. Third, the glasses just act as the gatekeepers, making sure the correct image gets to the correct eye. And what's the end result of all this? A masterfully crafted illusion of depth that your brain is perfectly wired to complete.
And that leaves us with a really powerful final thought. When you're watching a 3D film, you're not just a passive spectator. You are an active participant in creating the magic. The filmmakers start the illusion, sure, but it's your brain that takes those flat, filtered images and builds them into a reality. You're not just watching the movie. In a very real way, you are the final special effect.